Hey folks, Brad LaDrew here at Western GM in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada, and today we're looking at our very first 2021 GMC Yukon AT4. Now real quick, if you're not familiar with the Yukon, it's available in 4 different trim levels: your SLE, your SLT, your AT4, which has a different distinct front end, okay, and wheels than any other trim level, so it's slightly different looking than the other models, and then the top dog, the Denali. So it is a little windy, I apologize. Let's start off by popping the hood. Pretty straightforward. You're just going to put your hand right here in the center, right here. You're going to push to the right and lift up. As always, this is a one-take shoot, no editing, so sometimes things get a little shaky. Now, in the AT4, you have one engine option. You have the 5.3 liter direct injected variable valve timing with dynamic fuel management V8, 355 horsepower and 383 foot-pounds of torque. You can see your engine right, come on, right there. Okay, if this was a Denali, you can see Duramax there, maybe you could see 6.2 or 5.3. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now let's back up. Let's talk about LED everything in the front and rear of this vehicle. Daytime running lights, high beams, fog lights. You can see the chrome skid plate in under, which looks really sharp with the red tow hooks. Whatever the exterior of this vehicle is, it was all beef painted to match the bumpers and the fenders. Looks really sharp. You can also see, instead of this being chrome, like on a lot of the other trim levels here, come on, focus the lens flare here. It's this brushed aluminum look. So it looks really, really nice. It's a little dark. Very similar, if you've looked at some of the Chevrolet product and GMC product in the past, they would call this black ice. So very similar to that, just a little less reflective, a little different, okay? You can see another profile angle here. So you've got these exclusive AT4 wheels only available on the AT4. And you can see it's paired with a very good Goodyear Wrangler tire. Okay, the sun is going to help us a little bit here right now. So you can see both front and rear, you've got these fender liners, and it is, they're felt lined so that you don't get that pinging and panging when you're driving on gravel roads, which gives you a quieter cabin inside. This model, we have the optional power running boards as well. Makes it easier for the kiddies to get in the back as well. You see once you close the door, it takes a couple seconds. Now, let's back up and look at the rear. Oh, the wind. Sorry, guys. So I'll get down on one knee here real quick. One of the reasons that GM has made so much room in the new Yukon is the rear suspension now is a fully independent rear suspension with a electronic limited slip differential. So you're running the first ever fully independent multi-link suspension in the back of these vehicles, which just gives you a superior ride and quality. Okay, now you can get these in 7 or 8 passengers in an AT4, and you can get the optional power folding seats. And if this was the 8 passenger, that would be a 2nd row bench. This always is a 3rd row bench. Okay, so you've got the power down seats as well, so you can just push those down and then they power fold down, and you can see here it's cavernous. You got a massive amount of room inside. And compared to the old trim levels, you actually have almost 10 inches of more room in this behind the 3rd row seat than before. Now you can see you've got some USB-C charging up inside here on both sides, which is nice. And I'm going to fold these seats back up. And you can also power fold that 2nd row seat as well. You can see a power outlet back here as well. And just going to close her up. You can also see here we've got the capless fuel door, and if this was a Duramax diesel in, say, the SLT or the Denali trims, then you would also have a DEF tank AdBlue filler cap there. Some people's ask, why can't you get a Duramax in this model? And it's because of the front end with the there's no lower rear bumper like the other model. So that's kind of where the intercooler would be sitting in the other trim levels. And so for that reason, there's no intercooler. And so that's why you can't get the Duramax in the AT4. Now looking at the second row, now again, because this is the AT4, you've got the, again, Onyx Black exterior, but it's a jet black interior. But when you go to the AT4, you get this really nice umber inserts and stitching and piping. Sure you can see that. It looks really, really nice on the headrest as well. But really, really nice. Now, I want to show you guys real quick how the seats work, okay? So you've got a handle here to slide the seat forwards or backwards, and then you've got this handle here. So if you pull on this once, okay, your seat collapses, and push on it a second time, and you can see your seat flips up. So then it makes it very easy for someone like me to get into the back seat. And there's now, I'm 6 foot 260, and we catch hold of the seat, and you can see here, I've got piles of leg and knee room, and there's actually 10 inches more leg room in this generation than the previous generation. Another thing is it's very square back here. So, you know, for a big guy like myself, I fit in here perfectly. My head's not rubbing, my shoulders are not touching. Really, really nice. Now, if you have a higher trim level, you'll have a power button here to flip and fold that seat again. But let's pretend you were in a lower trim level, SLE, SLT, then you would just pull on this tether, which it still has as well. So again, the power release here, or you can pull on the tether. So either way, pull on this once and pull on it a second time. Okay, so you can imagine even your kids, I mean, some people with minivans, they're used to having a button here or a button here, and that's one of the reasons why GM put that button there. Now, another thing is we've got the optional sun and navigation package in this one, which gives us the massive panoramic sunroof, but you can see we've got the huge screens in the back, so we can connect USB, video, SD card slots, all that sort of stuff, or we can also search up navigation and unit and destinations and send those. So like say a family member's in the back and they're just like, well, let's go to the nearest, I don't know, Fuddruckers. And so then you could go to the nearest one and, you know, they can do all the destinations even though you're in the front driving. So pretty cool stuff. Down low here, you can see your automatic climate control. You've got your heated second row seats, USB-Cs, USBs, and again, you can plug in different devices so that it shows up on this screen here. Now, a quick overview, you can see up front. I'm going fast. Now, the sun should help us here, but you can see we've got a lot of different materials. Again, nice soft touch materials here. You can see this nice chrome with this pattern that's exclusive. Focus, baby. Exclusive to the AT4. Again, more, this is a harder plastic, but it's still, sorry, a harder material, a little bit different, softer here, harder here, and then very soft here. You can see you've got the texturized perforated leather here, and again, the piping all the way along. You can see we've got our power memory seat settings here, power door locks, mirrors, and windows. And then you can see the beautiful Bose premium audio system here as well. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 9-speaker Bose audio. And on both the drivers and passengers, you've got a 10-way power adjustable seat with power lumbar support. Moving over here before we hop in, lots of stuff here. So again, you've got your transfer case. You can go into auto 4x4, 2 high, 4 high, or 4 low. Okay, you can see your automatic headlights, your fog lights down here. And then up here, we've got our lane departure warning with lane keep assist. So the lane keep assist will steer you back in your lane if you're distracted, something like that's going on. The park assist sensors, which are your beep, 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 beep sensors. This is the thing that a lot of people do like, is you can disable auto stop is off. So now when you go to an intersection, it will not turn off on you. Or like this, this is going to get you the best possible fuel economy and start and stop traffic. Okay. We've got our hill descent control and our traction control. And then we've got these buttons here, which controls the HUD, which is your heads up display, color display. And let's just get inside. Push button start down here. and then hopefully you can see this on the camera, but straight in front of us there is our heads-up display, and we can change to auto 4x4, speed, or also with our, if there's a vehicle in our lane, or if it's using the steering, it'll show us that different information on the left side, whereas it's got our speed on the right side, okay? Also, when you go into this trim level, the AT4, you get some nice touches like this brushed steel here as well. Looking over here again, keeping with that umber stitching with the perforated leather, you can see again, this again textured chrome with this, the chrome with this textured paneling across looks really sharp. Moving on down, same thing, you can see the perforated, the stitching, and I didn't show the seat, but I'll open this up real quick. So again, just like the rear seats, this nice perforated leather, heated and cooled seats, AT4 stitched in the headrest, which looks nice as well. You've got, again, large center console. Pop this open, you can see lots of storage. The biggest wireless charging mat in any of our vehicles, which is great. So if you have any of those really big phones, Android, Apple, doesn't matter, it'll charge them up your phones. And then you can see down here, here's your center stack, if you will, with the massive new screen, all high definition. We've got the precision shift shifter. So again, pull on this, you're in reverse. Pull on this and you're in drive. P for park. And again, it's intelligent. So let's just pretend we're driving. So here I am, I'm moving. We come to a stop, and let's just say we turn off the vehicle. It puts itself in park automatically and puts the e-brake on as well. So even if you happen to forget, or say if you're older and you're like, I don't know what I think about this sort of shifter, you don't have to worry. When you turn it off, it's going to go into park. It'll even put the e-brake on, okay? And then when you go to put it in drive, then it'll take the e-brake off, and now we're moving again. P for park. Okay, moving on down here. We've got your heated seats with 3 levels of heat for back and bum, or just back, and then your cooled seats, okay? So 3 levels of cooling as well. You can see you've got USB-C, USB, you've got a SD card navigation, old auxiliary power as well, and you can sync all your climate control, so you actually have your tri-zone climate control like you would in, say, a bigger, say, sort of minivan sort of ish vehicle, which is really nice. And then obviously highlighting the new screen, which is awesome. So first things first, you have a home button here, but also you have a home button down here, okay? So either one of these home buttons is going to take you either to this split screen, okay, or this screen. So no matter where you are in the infotainment system, it'll take you back to there. So audio, XM radio, AM radio, you can see how quick and intuitive this is. Hit home, back to here. Let's say we want to go to navigation, home. Everybody loves the GM's infotainment system in all the GM vehicles because they're so quick, they're so intuitive, they're not hard to use at all. And also everybody loves the fact that you can see back on that previous screen is that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is standard. Now we've had that standard on almost every single GMC vehicle since 2018. But what's new with the Yukon is now this is wireless. So you can do wireless Apple CarPlay or wireless Android Auto. In the previous generations, they had to be plugged in, okay? Which is a really nice touch. You can see we can touch camera here. We can see we've got the full surround vision in high definition, and that's showing us the front view. We can touch this button here. That will show us the rear view, okay? We can just do split down the side. So let's say you're going tight, you're tight around a building or something. Say you want to back up to your hitch. With your hitch ball installed, you can see pretty straightforward stuff. And again, we can hit the home button right here, and we're back to here. There's apps you can download and whatnot with all of our GMC vehicles, like Waze Maps, your Glimpse, audiobooks, Spotify. You can start your vehicle, Amazon Alexa. I don't have one of those. I'm keeping the T2200 at bay. So moving on in here, and you can see how slick and quick this is to use, and everybody loves that. Also, you've got OnStar, which is your 4G LTE Wi-Fi in the vehicle, and we've had that in every single GM vehicle since 2014, before anybody else. So again, long trips, you can get a little bit of data instead of using your phone data. The second thing that OnStar does is obviously your emergency services stuff. So you can push the blue button and it'll just call an operator. If you hit the SOS button, it will call emergency services. And so you're on the phone with a trained EMT that can help you with a bad situation. Another thing it does is it's got active monitoring. So if you get in an accident, your airbags deploy, OnStar, this person here on the SOS line, will call you. And if you don't respond, they'll call emergency services to your last known location, which is pretty awesome. And then the third and final thing OnStar is nowadays is having the app on your phone that can start your vehicle, send navigation points to it, tell you your fuel levels, your tire pressure, all that sort of stuff. So you can subscribe to any one of those, or all three, or just two, or just one. That's totally up to yourself. A couple other things here we can see. We can just push this button once, and we've got the huge new, hopefully this is focusing a little bit, the massive panoramic sunroof. And yes, that's what it's called. And even let's say your spouse or somebody is coming, say, to get in the vehicle. Let's say they've got some luggage. You can push that button there, and that will open up the rear hatch. Okay. And you can set that to 3/4 as well. So let's say if you're in a parkade and you don't want it to scratch the top of your liftgate, you could set that. And you can even flip and fold those rear seats right up here as well. You got your sunroof if you wanted to open it up as well there. So I'm just going to pop out. Let's just close that up. But there you go. Oh, we're not focused. There you go. That's our first look at the all new for 2021. Our first GMC Canyon, GMC Canyon, that's the last video I just did. The GMC Yukon AT4. Thanks, guys. I try to answer all your questions. Like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff. You can read through a lot of our videos that I've done over the last 3 years. You know, I like to have a bit of fun with some of the answers, calling out Ford boys and all that sort of Ford fanboys and that sort of stuff, and having fun. So there you go, folks. Have a great day. Thanks for watching another one-take shoot here from Brad at Western GM in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada.